Well, interestingly enough, I mean, Romero's continued, thank God, the Dead series. He's taken it in
He's shooting Diary of the Dead 2 right now.
Yeah, up in Canada. And one of the things that's really changed since the older Dead movies, since Day of the Dead actually, is there's a lot more melding of CGI with practical effects.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering what your take on that is. I mean, do you prefer the old practical
effects? No, I love CGI when it's done well. George has bumper stickers, you know, about that. Fast zombies suck, that's one of them. And something about CGI. But there was a time when I was doing the effects for Land of the Dead. And it got delayed, they lost their budget, I moved on, George finally got to do it. But when I was doing the effects on Land of the Dead, I said, you know, it's really difficult to make zombies scary anymore. There's only so much you can do to the face, the clothing, the hands. And Nicotero did a great job on the baseball zombie in Land of the Dead, you know. That wasn't CGI, that was a real makeup. But my suggestion to George was, let's have like 8 special CGI zombies. Like, you've seen Day of the Dead, right? Do you remember in Day of the Dead, the guy that was lying on the slab and all he was a brain? Well, imagine him walking around, you know? You can only do that with CGI. It would be like the stuff in AI, faces with nothing behind them, you know? So, you know, holes, half of their bodies blown away, or a big hole in the middle of their chest, and they're walking around, you know, big brain guy, you know, legs missing. And that would have been like 8 special CGI zombies just to make a zombie movie where you're seeing extraordinary zombies, you know, like, not like the remake of Dawn. I mean, there was some, that's the thing, the remake of Dawn, there were 2 things that were different than the original. One, in the original, everybody liked each other. You know, they lamented the death of their poor comrades. In the remake, they hated each other, you know. In the old Dawn, you got to see special zombies. You got to know, like the nun zombie, the baseball player zombie. In the remake, they were just fast and ugly, you know. You never got to see constant, and maybe the Jay Leno zombie, you know, the guy shot from the roof. But that's the whole thing. I mean, there's only so much you can do to make zombies scary again, you know. You had Michael Jackson's Thriller, Joe Piscopo's beer commercial. So the challenge was to make them scary. So, and Land of the Dead, I mean, that was a big disappointment to a lot of people because, you know, you're supposed to kill zombies, not lead them to the promised land, you know. And the movie was over, you know, so anyway. But Diary of the Dead, if you've seen that, I mean, that was unlike anything George has ever done. I really thought that was great. And he's being rushed into Diary 2 now, so, and I'm sure he hates it. He hates being rushed. No, I'm not the movie. I'm sure he hates being rushed. But so we'll see what comes out of that. But he just can't get financing for anything but a Dead movie because he's George Romero. That's the problem. You get typecast, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering, how did you go about teaching yourself how to do the effects, makeup, prosthetics?
How did I go about teaching myself the effects? Well, you know, I started when I was 11. So I used to experiment on myself. You know, I'd go to school with half my eyebrows missing, you know, nose putty in my hair for a couple of weeks, you know. My skin would be stained from experimenting with blood. But then I realized I could experiment on my friends, see? So I'd take my friends and cut their throats and burn half their head off, you know, with makeup, and then go home. And their parents would freak because they're not thinking makeup. Who did that? Savini. Well, you can't play with him anymore, you know. But that's how I learned from, you know, getting books from the library and experimenting, because nobody shared their secrets back then. That's why my school exists, that's why I wrote my books, to share, because Dick Smith, the greatest living makeup artist on the planet, shared his secrets when you would call him and ask him a question. So I was very impressed by, I love the way he made people feel by sharing the knowledge. So that's what I've been doing, and that's why, again, that's why the school exists. But experimenting, doing it the hard way, conversations with Dick Smith, that's all. But nowadays, all you gotta do is go to my school and you'll know it. The school's a lot of fun. It's 16 months, it's a degree program. And the kids there say, this is school? I mean, they're just having fun every day, you know, making up monsters and creatures and makeups, you know, so.
You know, I've often wondered, you've had such a...
Get out of here, get out! You still suck.
You've had such a storied career. You've worked on a lot of movies that we just love and grew up watching. We'll probably still watch when we're in our 60s and 70s and turning on other people who sit down and watch these things. But what's your dream project? What do you want to do that you just haven't gotten a chance to yet? And whether it be acting or makeup or what do you really want to put out there?
Well, there's a thing I've been writing. It's a remake of The Most Dangerous Game. You know, they haven't made that since 1930. I mean, there's been some rip-offs of it. Dangerous. There was a Harvey Keitel movie with Madonna. There was something with Ice Cube, or you know. But this is a period movie, and it's a great plot. They just didn't do it very well in the 30s. They didn't have the technology. So I want to do that. The Most Dangerous Game. What else? I have a thing called Death Island. It's a unique zombie movie. It's not like zombies in a mall. It's voodoo in Haiti and black zombies, bald with scars and mud all over them, you know, and they're like camouflaged almost, you know. So that's a dream project that we're trying to get financing on. But you know, I have a film school now, so we're trying to get to shoot that stuff on our sound stages, you know. And the people the producers who produce Survivor and The Apprentice have approached us about doing a kind of a project runway with special effects. So look for that. That might happen. We're still negotiating, so that's going to happen at the film school sound stages. Yeah.
What happened to the video game you were supposed to work?
City of the Dead?
City of the Dead.
They paid me. That's the last I heard from them. Hey, sometimes that happens, you know. If you ever have a negotiation with you're doing a contract, make sure there's a clause in there it's called a pay or play clause. Okay, that means if you do it, you get paid. Even if you don't do it, you get paid. Okay, like if it's their fault or something, it's called a pay or play clause. You know? I was set to direct Stephen King's The Graveyard Shift. You know, I mean, they made it afterwards, but not the original script. It was New World, you know, Roger Corman's studio. So the contract was for a year, pay or play. I had a year to do one of their movies. But if another movie came up, I could do that, and they would add the amount of time it took to do that movie to the one-year contract. So I got Night of the Living Dead. So that added 6 months to the year, which was 18 months. I'm at the premiere of Night of the Living Dead at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood, and I realized it's 18 months. I better drive over to New World and, you know, see what's going on. I thought that was going to be the first day of my negotiations with them. I walked in, 10 minutes later, they handed me a check for $125,000 for not directing Graveyard Shift. Pay or play, pay or play.
Only in America.
And if somebody calls you, like if you're an effects person or a filmmaker or something, and somebody says, how much money do you want to make? Never give them a price. Say these words, make me an offer, okay? Because they might make you an offer that's 5 times more than you would have asked for. So you say yes, okay? And if it's less, you say, well, that's not enough, but make me an offer. Because if you give them a price, that's it. That's what you'll get, okay? Make me an offer. And that took 50 years to learn, okay? It's a free gift for you today.